Hello everyone, welcome to e-learning of IT for 12th standard. In last lecture, we have discussed about a position property that is used in a CSS. So today, we are going to discuss two more properties of CSS. Those are float and display property. So let us start with the first float property in CSS. Float property defines the flow of your content. That means how the content is to be displayed on your screen, that can be defined with the help of float property. That is, you can define whether the content should be at the left of the container, right of the container, or it is to be placed as it is, that is at its default position. So for that purpose, the possible values of float property are left, right and none. See, first float is the property colon left is the value provided for this float property. So left value keeps the element float on the left side of your container. That is, on your container, on your web page, your element will be defined at the left side of its container. Its position will be at the left side. By using float colon right, it keeps the element float on right side of the container. And if you define it as a none, then it is a default property. That means this shows the element as it is, that is at its default position on the screen. To understand how this float property can be used in a program, let us write a program using the float property in CSS. So for that purpose, first open Notepad and start writing a code. So first one is doc type, document type is HTML. After that, HTML tag start and end of HTML. After that, head tag and end of head tag. Within a head tag, you can add a title for this web page. So title and end of title. Provide here any meaningful title. Suppose demo of float property. Demo of float property. Now after head, open a body tag, then end of body tag. After that, within a body tag you can add any elements that you want on a web page. So suppose we add first tag as a h1 and end of h1. Example, using float property. Example, using float property. Now add some another tags. Suppose we want some image at the left side of your screen, then you can use ing tag. We have studied it already in 11th standard. So to provide a path of image, we have to use a attribute, that is src attribute. So src is equal to, here I have already downloaded one image, that is SS. It is of type JPG. I am providing the path of this image now. So SS.jpg. Now add some more tags that you want. Suppose p tag. Good morning. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Then add some another tag. Suppose h2 tag, start and end of h2 tag. Suppose e-learning. Okay. Now, if suppose we want to provide a styling for this, then we have to add a style tag in a head tag. So within a head tag, add a style tag, start and end of style tag. Now within this, we have to provide a styling effects for these elements. Suppose we want this image at the left side of your screen, your container, then you can provide float left for this image. So to provide styling for it, you can use img, that is a selector here. Then here you can use a float property, that is float colon. Possible values for float property are left, right and none. We want this image at the left side of your container, so for that we use here left value as a left. Now save the program, select your path, type a name for this program, suppose float.html. Now save the program and try to execute it. See here float. Now you can see this is a heading of this page, that is example using float property. Our image is at the left side of our container and remaining text has arranged around this image. So this is use of float property. Now if suppose we want this e-learning text at the right side of our container, then we can use a float property for this text, that is e-learning text, and e-learning text is written in a h2 tag. Now here for writing a styling effect for this h2 tag, you can use h2 as a selector or you can use any selector also. Suppose we will use a selector, suppose id selector, then id is equal to suppose heading 2. Then here we can use a heading 2, and to indicate that it is a id selector we will use a hash symbol. So hash heading 2, and now here you can provide a float property, and suppose we want this text at the right side, then provide here value as a right. Now save the program and try to execute it. See here this text is at the right side of our container. If we want to provide any another styling effects to this text, you can do so. Suppose we want background color colon, suppose pink. We want to provide font style, font size, then font size can be provided, suppose 20 pixels. Now again save the program and refresh the page. Now see here background color for this text is pink now, and this is at the right side of our screen. You can provide its size, you can change the size. Suppose it is a 20 pixels, see here size has been reduced now. So in this way you can use a float property to execute the programs and to set a certain position of certain elements on a screen. So now let us move to the next property, that is display property. We are discussing today two properties of CSS, that is float property and display property. For float property, there are three possible values, left, right and none. If you will use a none property, then that text will be at the default position. Suppose here we use none for the second heading. Then you can see the output here. It is a default position of this text, and that can be achieved with the help of a value, that is a none value. If you want this text at the left, you can use a left. If you want this text at the right, you can use a right here. So in this way you can use a float property. Now let us move to the next property. Last property that we are going to discuss is a display property in CSS. So display property defines how the components like division tag, hyperlink, heading are going to be displayed on your web page. That is different elements, those are to be displayed on the screen. How those elements can be displayed, that can be defined with the help of display property. It specifies how the element is displayed and used to specify display of different parts of the web page. That is, different parts of web page can be highlighted or can be identified with the help of this display property. How to use this property? So syntax used for display property is display colon value. That is, display is the property, after that colon, and you can provide a value. So let us discuss a possible values for this display property. Now see here values for display property in CSS. There can be a 4 different values for display property. First one is inline. Inline is used to display an element as an inline element. That is, the text or the element which is having different data that can be displayed on a single line. That is, element as an inline element. Second is the block. Block, using block value, you can display an element as a block element. That is, it is a certain block element. It always starts on a new line and takes up the whole width of your browser window. Third property is a block inline. See, block and block inline are very similar. That is, their look is very similar. But difference is that you are able to set the width and height of that content. So last property of the display, last value of the display property is none, and none element is completely removed. That is, that element will be completely removed if you will use a none property. None value for the display property. See, inline, block, block inline and none. These are the 4 different values possible for display property. See the syntax of display property, display colon value. Here value can be inline or block inline or none. So in this way you can use a display property. So let us write a program to understand how we can use it in a program. Open a new program. Start writing a code. Suppose First we will type doc type. Document type is HTML. After that, HTML tag start and end of HTML. Within HTML tag, add a head tag. After that, end of head tag. Now add title tag, title and end of title. Provide here any meaningful title. Suppose demo of display property. Demo of display property. Here in this title. Now after head tag, open a body tag. Body tag start and end of body tag. Within a body tag, you can add any elements, any tags that you want on a web page. Suppose let us add a p tag, start and end of p tag. Now add content here. Suppose welcome to e-learning. Welcome to e-learning. Again add some more p tags, p and end of p. HTML5. Again JavaScript. suppose CSS. And now we want a styling for this content written in a p tag. Then we have to add a style tag in this head tag. So first save this program. Let us save it as a name display.html. Display.html. Save this program and try to execute it. See, until now we have not used a display property. It is the default content. These are the 4 different paragraph tags, and here you can see the output of this. Now suppose we want to provide styling for this, then we have to add a style tag in a head tag. So style tag start and end of style tag. Within a style tag, now we want to provide a styling for these paragraph tags. Suppose we want this all content at a single line, then we can use selector name as a P and we can provide a display for it as a inline. Using inline, you will get content in a p tag at a single line. So let us see the output. Here you can see all 4 paragraph tags content is now on a single line. So this is the use of inline property inline value used for a display property. If suppose we use none, then no content will be visible here, that is that content will get removed. If you will use a block property, then here every content will be at the next line. Actually this is the default, so now let us give a background color for this so that you can identify it. Background color colon, suppose pink. Now you can see here every text is content in a block arranged as a block content will be at a new line and it is having a certain width and height. It takes a whole area on your browser. Now if you will use a block inline, then you can provide width and height for it. Suppose we provide width as a 10 pixels and height as a 5 pixels. Again save the program and execute it. See here width and height has changed now. Let us change those values again. Suppose 50 pixels. Then you can see here, you can change the width and height here. Let us change the width of it. Suppose 60 pixels. So in this way you can change the width and height when you will use a block inline. So in this way you can use the display property with the different values of it as a block inline and none. So today we have discussed 2 properties used in a CSS, float property and display property. Here you can change the value used for the display property and you will get a different output for it. For block inline, you can give a width and height for that block. So in this way you can use the float property and display property in a CSS.